Watch The Real Unwoke.
Oh man, sorry about that, guys. I'm a little late, but you know, we black. You guys know how that goes. How we doing? How are we doing? All right, you know what time it is. It is Fly Away Fridays. Fly Away Fridays. Kathy's in the building. What's happening? How are you? My boy Lee. What's happening, Lee? How are you, sir? We got Janet in the house. Old soul. All right. How you guys doing on Fly Away Fridays? Let me make sure that's right. It is Friday, right? It is Friday. Oh gosh. Yikes. I didn't pay my mortgage. Camila, how are you? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How's everyone doing this evening? It is 10:07 where I am, Eastern Standard Time. So it's pretty late. It's getting pretty nippy outside. So you guys, make sure you're all tucked and warm, ready for the coming winter season. Yeah, it's not gonna show any mercy on us, guys. I mean, those of us, especially in the Midwest. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Hit the like button. You guys already know. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, please, because we're gonna have a pretty tonight's topic. I hope not to. Hope it doesn't come across too dismal or somber, but unfortunately, there's some things we should be bringing to the forefront, particularly issues pertaining to men. I don't feel like that gets enough publicity today. I know we talk about the lovely ladies, we talk about the Democrats and their destructive policies, and we even talk about the rhino Republicans from time to time. But I think we need to put the focus on men tonight, because I don't think that a lot of men are getting the necessary guidance that they need. I've discussed ad nauseum. We are in a fatherless crisis in our nation, and we don't really talk about the ramifications of that. I don't think we really go into much detail, like what the psychological damage that this can cause on the upcoming generation, especially the young boys and the young girls as well. Tina's in the house. What's happening? Greg's in the house. Rachel's in the house. All right, guys. I'm glad you're here, but I see you still on Facebook. You got to go over to YouTube. Go to TheRealUnwoke. TheRealUnwoke. Go subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Oh man. So yeah. Let me get some Carmex on. Like, my lips are super dry tonight. What did I see? You think you came prepared, and next thing you know, everything's amok. 707 in Cali. Oh, okay. So what is it? 709 where you are. My brother's in Arizona. Guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go over to my channel now. It is The Real Unwoke. The Real Unwoke. All right. Fairly simple to spell. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, every so often I think that societies go through a cycle. Not necessarily a change, but more so a cycle. We go through, cycles of upward trajectory and a downward spiral in some degree. And I think that's what's happening here in America, particularly because of a lack of strong, fortified men of character. I think in every society throughout all human history, where there has been conquer and conquest, the downfall of any society is the destroying, the vitiating, and the elimination of men. Appreciate that, Craig. Appreciate that. In order to conquer a society, okay, you have to destroy the men. You have to weaken the men. And I think that's pretty much what's happening at our fronts here with men. I don't think that people like to say, you know, we should try to redefine things. You know, we tried the traditional route, but now it's just time to reassess and choose another path. Hmm. I got a question. If you go out into a field and you see a fence, and you go out into an open field and you just see a fence in the middle of the field, do you ask yourself, should I tear this fence down, or should I ask myself, why is the fence there? I think that's where we are in society. We are at the precipice of where we're going to go. Either it's going to be a continual downward slope, or we're going to actually try to understand why our forebears had the institutions, the social institutions in particular, in place as we had, as we have. You know, institutions such as marriage. Why is marriage so important? Why was that institution introduced here in the West, in the Western world, whereas in the East, on the East, you know, they have different practices per se, because you know, generally, a lot of the cultures on the East are they're more so homogenous. You know, a lot of their customs are the same. But why did we choose to do something different here in the West? Perhaps, maybe that's the reason we are envied. Perhaps that is the reason why we are front center on the global stage. I don't know. Does it have something to do with this notion of privilege, you know, power? I certainly think it has a lot to do with power, but I don't know how much of our society has decayed or degraded to to the point where we completely lost the meaning behind a lot of traditions we once held. I mean, even something as simple as the national anthem, right? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I relatively recently actually looked into that. You know, I did a study into that. Where did the national anthem originate from? I wanted to know, genuinely wanted to know. And I found out that the story was actually it's an actual historical event that actually took place, and these soldiers were fighting while still holding up the American flag. Like you should, if you don't know the origins of the national anthem, I suggest you go do your research into it. It's a quite fascinating story, I will say. I will say. Don't they have arranged marriages in the East? Yeah, they have arranged marriages in the East. But the main thing I want you guys to understand is the contrast between the East and the West is in the West, excuse me, in the East, they still operate under a patriarchal rule, meaning men are the dominant um, forces in society. Okay, men are still held as the leaders. Now, what we got going here on the West, we're actually um, deposing men of that role. Okay, stripping men of that role, actually shaming men for embodying that role or wanting to embody the role of being a provider, protector, or a leader. Now, I'm sure someone argue, okay, yeah, well, they oppress their women and all that. Yeah, that's, I mean, I never said it's not that it's easy over there, but I'm saying I'm just drawing the contrast. Okay, and I've said this multiple times. We are in a gynocracy in society, predominantly led by women. Okay, um, but listen, guys, I want to show you guys something because this is gonna be the perfect segue into some of the articles that I want to read to you guys because that's this 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 oops, this columnist here. I think his name is Nicholas. What's this guy's name? Nicholas Eberstadt. He really goes into the detail of what's happened with men especially, who lack purpose, work, and the will to want to continue to protect society. Rada! Hello, hello. The welfare state has done a real job on the family, absolutely. I don't know now. Wait, I don't know about now, but women couldn't get paid by the government if the father or anyone was in the home. Yep, go look that up. It's called the man in the house rule. Yep, that is accurate, my friend. Angela, I married my best friend from high school. We've been married for 24 years. We're fortunate to have been a traditional family. Yes, that is certainly a blessing. Let me give you a round of applause. And that's what we need more of. That's what we need more of. As opposed to shaming this woman for, choosing to be a lovely wife, a nurturing mother, we 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 shame her for not wanting to go out into the work field, bring home income, compete with men. That's what we're doing. You know, it's 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 a depriving you of your nature now to not want to work, to go into the work field. You're to not want. Excuse me. To not have the desire to go into the work field, but rather stay at home and be a caretaker for your family, that would be deemed depriving you of your true, I don't know, true self, right? All right, but yeah, this is what I want to show you guys. Give me 1 second here, because we're gonna get deep. Because guys, look, I'm a Christian before anything. Okay, before my blackness, before my political affiliation, I'm a Christian man. That's where I stand. Okay, and I, as Christ, and as basically all of the prophets before him, they spoke the bold, honest truth, regardless of whose feelings were hurt. Okay, it's not about feelings; it's about reality. All right, and if we're gonna keep mollycoddling each other and policing our tone, all in effort to not hurt no one's feelings, then I promise you, there's nothing we will not capitulate to. We're just gonna surrender to the whim of the regime, because that's what they're asking you, right? They're asking you, shut your mouth. You're gonna you're gonna you're gonna let us indoctrinate your kids, okay? We are going to pit men and women against each other. We're going to tax you to death, and you're going to shut your mouth. As a matter of fact, we're going to smuggle some pedophilia in here. And since the floodgates are open, we're going to also, we might even introduce bestiality. Bestiality. Mark my words, guys. Bestiality is coming right down the piper. Look, mark my words. Mark my words. All right, but look, check this out. I want you guys to see something. Now, it might be a little, a little gut wrenching at first, but just watch it. There's a means to my madness here, so just bear with me, please. All right, this is a scorpion attacking its prey. I want you guys to pay attention to how the scorpion attacks its prey. You see that? You see that? The scorpion has a stinger, and that stinger has venom, right? What that venom does, it essentially melts the entrails of the prey, the insect. It, like, I think, what's the word? Acify, or I don't know. It melts it. Oh, excuse me. So let's play some more. Look at that. Yep. Okay. Okay. So now that you saw that, all right, I want to show y'all this. Oops. Share my screen. Tab. Window. Where are ya? There you go. Now, I just showed you guys how a scorpion attacks its prey. Put a one in the chat if you saw that and you understand what I just showed you. Put a one in the chat if you understand that. This is leading to something here, all right? I'm gonna follow up with something. I'm gonna wait. You guys put a one in the chat. And hey, by the way, get my likes up. Get my likes up, nah. Yep. You know the truth. You know the truth, Lee. You know the truth. All right, appreciate it. Yep, paralyzes the prey. Kristen. Okay, Angela. Okay, guys. All right, we got enough. So check this out. Now, what does this say here? Oops. All right, Revelations 9, verse 10. And they had tails like unto scorpions, right? I saw the video, right? The tail of the scorpion. And there were stings in their tails, right? And their power was to hurt men. Is that women? Does it say women there? Or does it say men? What does that say? I'm gonna read that one more time. And their tails like unto scorpions, and their stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men. 5 months. What are you getting to, Neil? What are you getting at? Well, what do you think is transpiring right now in our society in regards to masculinity? Men, truth, logic. What do you think's happening right now with that? No Bible study. Also, I just wanted to read that verse there, so we can make a correlation here. I don't know what the heck this is doing. Okay, yeah. So essentially, what's happening right now is you have the media infrastructure, you have the weak beta men who are facilitating women, all right, to weaken men. Let me say that again. Right now, we have the entire governmental infrastructure, the media included, along with women and weak beta men facilitating the weakening of men. Well, what do you mean by that, Neil? Well, let's go into this article so we can get some more information. Let's go into this article here. Da, 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 da. All right, the crisis of men and boys. All right, this is okay. This is the first article column that we're going to read, and then I'm going to read the next one. Okay, so if you've been paying attention to social trends, you probably have some inkling that boys and men are struggling in the United States across the globe. They are struggling in the classroom. American girls are 14 percentage points more likely to be school ready than boys at the age of 5. Controlling for parental characteristics. By high school, 2/3 of students in the top 10% of the class ranked by GPA are girls, while roughly 2/3 of the students at the lowest decile are boys. In 2020, at the 16 top American law schools, not a single one of the flagship law reviews had a man as editor in chief. Men are struggling in the workplace. I can relate to that. 1 in 3 American men with only a high school diploma, 10 million men, is now out of the labor force. The biggest drop in employment is among young men 25 to 34. Well, okay, guys, let's pause right there. 25 to 34. Why is that happening? Why are we seeing a drop in unemployment for men ages 25 to 34? What are men typically going through in that age bracket? Well, usually a man starts to really come into his full self until his full self around 25, 30 years old. Okay, that's when we start to uh, define our identity, find ourselves, so to speak. We start to understand the world a little bit more differently because men, unlike women, reality reinforces our deficiencies. All right, so if you're fat, overweight, living in your mom's basement, reality is going to tell you that you're a loser. That's what reality is going to do. But no, not for our lovely ladies. If a woman's fat and she's overweight or she's crude, crass, annoying, reality is going to reinforce, you go girl. Hence Lizzo. I mean, for God's sake, the woman was shaking her pastiche at a basketball stadium in front of thousands. I mean, how much more demoralizing can you get, right? Let's go back to this article. Okay. Men who enter the workforce in 1983 will earn about 10% less in real terms in their lifetime than those who started a generation earlier. Over the same period, women's lifetime earnings have increased 33%. Right. We talked about this before. Men and women, we're social creatures, okay? But one of the worst things you can do to a human being outside of death is socially isolating that person. Solitary confinement. So women, because naturally women are hypergamous by nature, so they typically date men who are making about at or above what they are grossing annually. However, with what we just read, men are clearly not meeting that income threshold. So these women are not even looking their way. In fact, virtually all men are invisible to most women. So, how does that affect men? Knowing that they can't even have the soft, nurturing touch of a woman. They're already rejected in society because, hey, you don't have a dad. You're already rejected at the jump, at the gates, right? And as you develop in the world, you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to figure it out as a man, and then you try to, you want to start a family, but you realize that all the women that are out there are not paying attention to you. They're not paying attention to you. Their eyes are on the 10 percenters, right? The demand has been pushed up to the top 10% of men because women are out there getting it, right? Even average women today. Even average women today feel as if they deserve a top 10 percenter. Because hypergamy has been unfettered. It is completely unconstrained. Okay? Let's see. That's a blessing, Janet. That's a blessing. That's a blessing that not most of us can say we had. You know, my mom worked. My mom worked, um, and it was tough. You know, and not to take anything away from my mother, but you know, she struggled. I mean, I told you guys in my last live. I mean, she would have us cash out food stamp cards. You know, the paper food stamps when they were still being distributed that way. We were listen. My mom took advantage of every government program you can think of. We even had the government cheese. We had the government cheese.
What the?
Yes, I remember the cans. I mean, listen, I don't want to go down memory lane. Those are some tough times. But I will say I did enjoy those ketchup sandwiches. Ketchup sandwiches was all right back in the day. Okay, so over the same period, women's lifetime earned, okay, I read that part. Pretty much all of the income gains that the middle class American families have enjoyed since the 1970s are because of increases in women's earnings. And not to mention, guys, because of all the newfangled woke diversity policies, women are practically being pushed. They're begging women to get into the labor market. Come on in. We don't care if you're qualified. You're a woman. You get your butt in here. We got you. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they just start putting up signs saying no men need not apply. Men are struggling physically. Men account for close to 3 out of 4 deaths of despair, suicides, and drug overdoses. Oh, yes. Yeah, well, men, yes, we account for most of the deletion rates. Okay. Men are self-deleting. They are self-deleting because they're angry, they're disaffected, they are despondent. All right. They are purposeless, aimless. I mean, need I continue? When we don't talk about this, all we have is a bunch of women saying, well, these men wouldn't be so uptight if they just talk about their feelings. No, 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 no. That is the most pernicious, worst advice you can tell a man to do. All right. Especially to a woman. All right. Let me tell you how men express their feelings. We build. Look at the iPhone, look at the computer, the internet. We build with his child's mother. I mean, I told the guy, uh-oh, you can't hear me? Uh-oh. No sound, Kathy? Oh, wait. Watching the buffer wheel go round and well. If you guys can't hear me, let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay. All right. Kristen says she can hear me. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I still have that government internet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with y'all. Sheesh. Yeah, so I was just saying that I just get off the phone with a friend of mine. He is pretty much at his breaking point. He's been with this lady. He's been with this child's mother for I don't know, like 3 kids in now. His last child has some disability, and I mean he's he's a mechanic. The guy's a stand-up guy, takes care of the family. You know, he certainly have put his biological urges on the back burner. I mean, what I mean by that, this guy's a loose cannon, you know, prior to becoming a family guy. But he certainly stepped up, you know, stepped up to the plate as society wouldn't want him to do, as society would, you know, ask of him. And he's done a great job. However, he's constantly berated with insults every time he comes home. This is just his point of view. So, I always try to be objective about it. But he's told me this on multiple occasions. So, and I've kind of got a little bit more insight into what's going on. But according to what he tells me, he's constantly um, belittled, shamed. Um, he's never doing enough, you know. And he just pretty much told me, like, look, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm done with it. I said, man, why are you giving it up? It's kind of a rhetorical question because I knew why he was giving it up. The guy, he's frustrated, but he just said, I can't be honest with her. She's um, she's not the person who I initially met. She's totally gained weight. She's mean. She doesn't show any affection, no words of encouragement, just constantly berating him all the time, over and over and over and over and over again. And he said that if it wasn't for, certain videos in the manosphere, that he wouldn't even be able to articulate himself. It would be a losing battle. And that's the problem a lot of men find themselves in. A lot of men don't really lack a lot of social skills. And sometimes, we have the thoughts, but we just can't articulate the words. And, women, they're really quick on their feet. So if you're not able to keep up, they'll certainly dominate you in that arena. But yeah, but I was just talking to him. And I was like, so what are you going to do? He's like, I'm just probably going to go and kind of revert back to his old ways and whatever. I said, okay, well, short-term thinking is going to lead to long-term disasters. You got kids. You should probably really think about it. And he said, yeah, I mean, I thought about it. I don't really care. He just doesn't care. He's completely disaffected. It's all about, hold up. It's all about the talk. It's all the talk about toxic masculinity to hold men down and shame them. I'm happy for my husband to go over to his buddy house, watch the game. He works hard and he deserves time to decompress. Thank you. Thank you. I wish more women shared that sentiment. Tina says verbal abuse is really worse than physical abuse because it burns. Yeah, these are wounds that you can't they don't heal up as fast as physical abuse. It burns on repeat in the mind, mental, and torture. And yeah, and we all know women can have some vicious tongues on them. Words, some scathing words. All right, let's get back to this article because I want you guys to kind of get a full view of what we're dealing with here. I learned a lot that I didn't know. First, boys are much more hindered by challenging environments than girls. Girls in poor neighborhoods and unstable families may be able to climb their way out. Boys are less likely to do so. In Canada, boys born into the poorest households are twice as likely to remain poor as their female counterparts. In American schools, boys' academic performance is more influenced by uh, family background than girls' performance. Yeah, boys raised by single parents. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is which race in America has predominantly female head of households? Uh-oh. Boys raised by single parents have lower rates of college enrollment than girls raised by single parents. Yeah. Yeah, because they put more emphasis on the women to survive. You got to get out there and you got to make it out there on your own. It's almost like they're telling the women, the daughters, what they should be telling the young boys. Let's see. Second, policies and programs designed to promote social mobility often work for women. Hence, diversity policies. Okay, woke diversity policies, inclusion, but not men. What did I tell you guys earlier? They're practically begging women to get into STEM, and they'll fully subsidize it. I mean, sponsor it. They're programs for women, specifically for women. Reeves, a scholar at Brookings Institute, visited Kalamazoo, Michigan, where, thanks to a donor, high school graduates get to go to many colleges in the state free. The program increased the number of women getting in college degrees by 45%. The men's graduation rates remain flat. Yeah, because have you been to any of these institutions? Have you been to any of these institutions? They are liberal hives. Okay, you got to walk on eggshells in these institutions. Okay. Um, Reeves has a series of policies and proposals to address the crisis, the most controversial of which is redshirting boys. Have them begin their schooling at a year later than girls because, on average, the prefrontal cortex and cerebellum, which are involved in self regulation, mature much earlier in girls than boys. Oh, is that a fact? There are many reasons why men are struggling. For example, the decline in manufacturing jobs that put a high value on physical strength and the rise of service sector jobs. But I was struck by the theme of demoralization that waves through the book. Raves talked to men in Kalamazoo about why women were leaping ahead. The men said the women are just more motivated. Why are they more motivated? You think that has anything to do with our society promoting women and propping women above men, up above men? Think that has anything to do with it? Why? I don't know. Because they're making movies like Woman King, which by definition is incorrect. Because what is a king by definition? It's a male ruler. Why are we making a movie called Woman King? I know has something to do with the emasculation of men. They're propping up women above men. Sheesh. All right. Let's move into some other videos here. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see some more demonstrations here of the emasculation of men. And this is going to all explain why men are so disaffected and so displaced. Okay? Remember what I showed you guys in the early in the video about the scorpion, how it attacks its prey. Well, check this out. Like the video, guys. Like the video. I need to see those likes up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed by now. I'm too old for a relationship outside of economics. I hear you, Craig. All right. And I knew this video probably won't get much views because it just comes to show men don't get much publicity. We don't get, who wants to talk about male issues, men's rights and things of that nature? What do we want to talk about that for? Right? It's not that important. Right?
Truth is truth.
And let's just keep it real simple. Just 2 yes or no questions. And this is for Dr. Kumar. Dr. Kumar, can biological men become pregnant and give birth?
So men can have pregnancies, especially trans men.
Did y'all hear that? Let's just run it back. Oh gosh. All right, this is another front where masculinity is being attacked. This is another front. And remember what I told you about the beta males, the simp men, the weak men who are facilitating these Jezebel women in destroying men? This is one of them.
Become pregnant and give birth.
A lot of them work in government, all right?
So men can have pregnancies, especially trans men.
Look at him. Look at him. Never been in a fight, not a day in his life. Look at him. I guarantee you, if I walked up to this guy and said, "Boo," he was shaking his boots. Look at him.
So can biological men become pregnant and give birth? So are you saying that a biological female who identifies as a man and therefore becomes pregnant is, quote, a man? Is that what you're saying?
These questions about who can become pregnant are really missing the point. I'm here to talk.
No, it's a pretty straightforward question. Can biological men give birth? It's a simple question. It's a simple question. Now, what man, what actual man, we're talking about real men, alpha men, would support this narrative? I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. And you want to know why a lot of men are falling victim to their supine weakness in the face of this evil? It's because they're being paid, such as the women are, hush money. She said bad examples of men. No. Yeah, I know. I know, Kathy. But these jobs who promote these policies and promote these radical ideas, right? They're paying, excuse me, they're paying women a salary, which is hush money. Okay. Meaning, if we catch you speaking out against our agenda, we will fire you. So, what happens? Well, they are silent. Even their silence is complicit.
Talk
No,
about what's
no.
And the beta males included as well.
No, this is me asking a question and you answering. I'm asking the question, sir, not you.
Right, and I'm answering the question. Somebody with a uterus may have the capability of becoming pregnant, whether they're a woman or a man.
Do you hear that? Did you hear that? So, this is our government official. Who? I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was elected. I don't know if he was appointed. But how did this? How did this sycophantic lapdog of Satan get into our government? How? This is an infectious cancer right here. This guy right here. Look at his face.
That doesn't make
Okay,
a difference.
we're done.
Not
We're
every
done.
person with a uterus.
Yeah, we are done. We are done. I don't even want to hear him speak anymore. I'm sorry. I will bully this guy. I'm not a fan of bullying, but I would bully that guy right there. I mean, I wouldn't beat him up, but I'd certainly put him in a headlock or something. I'm just saying. I mean, what do you want me to say? I want to show you guys something else here. Now this, hold on to your wheels because this gets a little heavy here. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's not it. There it is.
Of disrespectful, ungrateful women who you can't satisfy. That's what you're dealing with. Who we empower them because we love them and we care for them. And they do nothing but what? Take that and just spit in our faces. And it's our fault. If men began to treat women like we treat other men, they'd have a lot more respect for manhood. Listen to this.
Fair use.
It has long been claimed that as many as 21 fathers commit suicide every week due to not being able to see their children and the harsh financial pressure that the family court puts on fathers.
21 fathers self-delete every week.
Hear that? 21 fathers self-delete every week. Right? Because of a horrible, horrible divorce. We already know what the stats are with that. Women are awarded 90% of the time alimony. Majority of the cases, they get the children, the house, half of the estate. Majority of the assets. Let's continue.
Because of the pressure put on them by family court. Do you think that's the majority of black men? No, it's not. Keep listening.
In truth, there really are no hard facts for the actual number of fathers who have taken their own life. We do, however, have statistics.
They don't keep facts on that because they don't care enough about men in this society to keep facts on that.
Nope. Isn't that astounding? Is that they don't even keep facts or any data on the number of men who commit suicide for not being able to see their children. Think about that. I've been in that situation, and it was very, very, extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. All right, one last thing I want to show you guys, and then we'll wrap this up. She said, men need to wise up. Well, you're seeing a man here, me. I'm wising up, and I'm speaking out against it. Thank God for mediums such as this. YouTube is prior to that. Women practically dominated the media front. I mean, thankfully, men are able to, they're afforded the opportunity to speak these truths, but how long until they shut us entirely down? How long? And then what happens? Name me a matriarchy that has withstood the test of time. Name me one. Here we go. Uh-oh. All right, guys, you guys got to see this. I just got to end it with this. This is just disturbing. All right, you guys heard about this, right? This is the Virgin Atlantic airline, I believe. Yeah. Updates their gender identity policy. Ooh, we got another ally.
I wanted to be involved in this campaign to affect change in this world. I have a trans non-binary child, so for me, changing the world is my job as a mom and as a friend and an ally. I feel fabulous, fierce, and ferocious, and I am ready to take flight.
Be Yourself campaign means absolutely everything to me. I get to be myself, a non-binary person.
So, okay, I just want to make this point here. So, they say be yourself, choose your gender arbitrarily. You can be a boy, a girl, Monday, Tuesday, just be free. Be whatever you like, whatever you feel. My question is, if you're identifying as non-binary, if you are neither male or female, then why are you wearing male or female uniforms? Why not just put on a costume? Seriously. If you're not identifying as a male or a female and you can just pick and choose, why not just show up to work in a damn, I don't know, Batman costume? Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say tonight. I want you guys to really put some thought into this. If you have, brothers, father, can I be a light bulb tomorrow? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, yes, you can. But yeah, if you have any men in your life, give them some words of encouragement. Tell them how much you appreciate having them in your life. Men, we don't often hear those words of encouragement, especially in our society today. I would urge you to appreciate the men that will put their lives on the line for you, that have put their lives on the line for you. All I'm asking is a little gratitude. And it can be something as, hey, thank you for all that you do. Although we are men and we must maintain our masculine frame and practice stoicism, we still have emotions. Okay? We as men must try to regulate our emotions, to be logical. But it feels good when our women show some appreciation to the world that we have civilized, built, created for you. From the truckers to the construction workers to the power grid workers, blue collar workers. These men need love and appreciation too. And even our boys, our young boys, black boys are reading at a 3rd to 4th grade level. All right? They're handing out freaking graduation certificates like, I don't know, like popsicles. All right, well, that's all I have to say, guys. Again, I don't expect this live to get particularly any amount of traffic, but I do appreciate you guys for tuning in for as long as you have. I know men's issues are at the bottom of the totem pole, but I will tell you this, that the more the LGBTQI community starts to infiltrate our society more and more, you're gonna wish that men prevented it from happening. You're gonna wish men were there to protect you. So that's all I gotta say. All right, guys, if you have not subscribed, go subscribe to the channel. Share this video out. Share it to share it to someone in your family who probably could use this message. Would love to hear this message. But guys, you know how we end this. We are speaking truth and reality, and I promise you, we will reinstitute morality. Have a good night.
And you ain't black.